tools. In one of those boxes, write professionalism. In one of those boxes, write environment. Now let's see how many of you, how many boxes are remaining? How many? 10 boxes. In one of those boxes, write education. Another part there, write feedback. Feedback. In one of the boxes, write research. Have you written friends? Write friends. Write family in another box, family. In one of those boxes, write God Almighty. How many boxes do you have left? One. Okay, now, leave that one. What you have in those boxes, I need you to just pay attention to all of those. Look at those things that you have written out. If you get all these things right, there's no way you will not be a great entrepreneur. If you get all the things that are written in that paper that you have now, it's called the mind map. If you have all of it right, there's no way you will not become a great entrepreneur. And right now, a lot of you might be having challenges with it. With everything that is written there, all of it can stop you for being an entrepreneur. You know, after writing all this, you'll now be thinking, okay, yes, your last point there, put government policies or government. But when you write government, you know it has to do with government policies or government. So, now, everything that you have there, like I said, it's important for you to add all these things together to become the person that you want to be as an entrepreneur. So I'll give you an example. Because of the rain, I might have to be shouting so that my voice can drown the rain. Let's look at the word there that says something about self-development. You can jot anything down and just use an arrow, direct it to that self-development, but jot things down. Self-development is the kind of things that David had. David was the youngest of the Benjamins. David was the youngest, and David, for instance, did not have the things that the brothers had, but he had time to learn how to play the harp. He had time to learn how to shoot catapult. He had time to learn how to sing. He had time to learn how to dance. He had time to learn how to write. Now, all of these things are skills that he had learned. But you have to develop yourself to the point where the day a need comes, you'll be ready. Let me put that to you again. David did not learn how to shoot catapult when he saw Goliath. Do you understand? If you get the point I'm making, raise your hand. Okay, so some people didn't get it at the back. Let me explain it again. David did not see Goliath and start looking for a shoot. And when he got there and they gave him another thing to wear to fight Goliath, he said, I am not used or trained for this. So when you go somewhere, it is the training and self-development potentials that you already built in yourself that you will use. So I'll give you another example. So this lady had a talent that most people did not have. She had patience and knows how to write things down and could get so detailed. And every time I saw her, she was working as a PA to somebody. The man would say something, she would jot it down, she would jot it down. So I told her, I said, you know, you could work really as a receptionist / PA. And she was like, no, receptionist, no, I don't think I can. I said, you can. Because she had the abilities that she didn't even know. There was nothing you told her that ruffled her. She placed everything in perspectives. So I told her, I said, your kind of person is somebody that should man telephone calls. There are some people, when you call them, if it's a bad day, it's bad day for you too. Somebody called one lady one time, a receptionist. Hello? Is your guy in? No, he's not. What time is he coming back? Oga, I said he's not in. He said, no, I want to just know what time he's coming back. I don't know what time he's coming back. So, can you help me find out if it is possible for my Oga? He is not in. He said, okay. Then the man now remembered that the man said he was going to travel. So he called back. Hello? She said yes. He said, I'm the one that called before. He said, hey, so what happened again? He said, no, I just want to find out because he was supposed to travel. That's why I just told you now that he's not in. He said he was supposed to travel like on a Thursday. So I'm calling to Oga today, it's not Thursday. It's just the same thing with, there's a lady that now has about like 2-3 schools in Abuja. We went to Shagamu for a party. And these babies were crying. And so the first one that started crying, you know how mothers are. People were there. They said, take the child outside now. The child is disturbing. Or give the baby food. What is all this now? And this lady, she didn't know the parents from anywhere, came and carried the baby and started singing and dancing. After a while, the baby also started playing with her. She brought the baby back sleeping. And then another one happened again, and then she went and carried this baby and then brought the baby back again, happy, playful. And when she wanted to drop the baby refused to come down. So I was watching all of this. I thought, you know, curiously, I went to her. I said, how did you get to have such power over children? She said she was a child that was growing up in her uncle's house, and the uncle had like 2-3 children, and so she was taking care of the children, and she knew how to play with them. She knew when they were sick, she knew when they wanted food, she knew when they were uncomfortable, and just that gave her an understanding of children. So I said, what do you do? She said she works with Citizens Bank. I said, you work in a bank? I said, you should open a crèche. She said, crèche, school. God forbid. I said, I have seen the skills in you. Don't forget, most of the times, the thing that God taps into to bless you is the thing that is already in you. Hold on, no, because I don't know whether they are sharing small chops. What is it? Small chops. Because as an MC, I do this a lot. When an MC is walking, you are MCing up and down, up and down. They'll start sharing small chops. By the time you finish, when you now ask, it's finished. So when I'm working as MC now, when they are sharing, I see people going about with I say, well, share small chops, go back or no? So that I don't lose out. Let's just know, not come here, keynote speaker will now go home, keynote hungry. Yes. He gave me accommodation for 4 years in the university. I didn't pay for accommodation. Because the school always wanted you to be part of the team. And as a utility player who plays football, volleyball, you throw javelin, you do long jump. Jesus today for all the things that he does is because he too is multi-talented. If you are wondering why Jesus is multi-talented, there's a song that speaks to it. And the song goes like this. Waymaker, miracle worker, light in the darkness, my God, that is who you are. So Jesus is not one person. Jesus does a lot of things. So for you too, you need to do a lot of things. I just mentioned David. David played the piano. But you see, played the harp. Why did that make sense? It was what brought him to the palace first. Let me tell you something about the Mediterranean. Okay, maybe I should give you a small background. I read religious studies and philosophy when I was in school. Because I had 234 in JAMB. And my school then, Epoma, said if you want to read law, you must have 250. But I had 234. So my dad said, okay, you are going to go in by direct entry. So go and do 1 year in religious studies and philosophy. Now, when I went to read that religious studies and philosophy, something in my head thought, oh, religious studies and philosophy, CRK, Kokpo. I studied Hebrew. I studied Greek. I studied Arabic. And I studied Latin. It was important for you to study all of that because certain courses needed for you to write from left to right, like Hebrew. It needed to write from left to right, like Arabic. And so you need to study all of those. For me, I would just go there, read for 4 years or so, and come out. And when I got there was when I discovered my comedic talent. But you see, the comedic talent had always been there. I just needed something to shine it up. So for some of you here, you have different talents. And I want to find out, how many of you know how to sew? Make clothes. You know how to make clothes? Raise your hand. How many of you know how to paint? Like draw? How many of you know how to sing? Don't just raise hand, because I'll come and give you microphone now. It's not national anthem. I mean sing. Okay. How many of you know how to play football? Football. A woman is raising you. You play football, madam. Not Betty, no. Because somebody is raising hand there now. But the person says, I play, Baba Jebu. No, I mean football. Okay. Now, all these skills that you have, when it comes to a time that a difference has to be made and a choice has to be made, you stand out. I'll give you another example. Why I'm giving this example is that you can relate. So, one time like that, you must have heard this story. 10 ladies were going to meet a groom. And 5 of these ladies carried extra oil. You know what that extra oil is? It translates to having other abilities that other people do not have. So let's say you have a master's degree. And you have 2 diplomas. And you go for a job that says they want somebody who has first degree. When you get there, you present your first degree. And then they said, do you have something else? Because every other person has first degree. And you're like, I have diploma. They say, what? On marketing. Okay. Then you then say, I also have a master's in business admin. There is no way they will take somebody that doesn't have extra kerosene and not take you. But you see, you have to have had the extra kerosene. So the thing we're doing here now is for you to have extra kerosene. If you do not have that extra kerosene, it becomes a problem. I'll give you another example of having extra kerosene. There comes a time in our lives where you have to do business. And doing that business is competing with others. In your paper there, do you have competition? You have competition, right? Now, competition is very important for you to become better. Competition is also very important for you to show the extra skills that you have. In your paper, you have mentorship. Did you write mentorship? Mentorship is that thing that makes you go to someone that is wiser to ask questions. In the Bible, Samuel was hearing some voices, and somebody was calling him. And he went to his prophet and said, "Did you call me?" The man said, "No. Go back and sleep." He went to sleep. After a while, he came back again and said, "Sir, did you call me again?" He said, "I didn't call you. Go back and sleep." The third time when he went, I said, "Oga, you called me now." He said, "Okay, next time you hear that thing, say, 'Speak, Lord. Your servant hear it.'" You see, when you do not have somebody that is a mentor, some of the things that will be shown to you, you will lose it. I'll give you an example again. There was once a comedian. He told me somebody was owing him. And the person did not want to pay. I said, how much is the person owing you? He said the person was owing him 300,000. I said, how much did you and the person agree to before? He said, we agreed 800,000. He paid 500. And was remaining 300. I said, and he has not paid the 300. He said, no. I said, no problem. I said, next time the man calls you, or you call the man, tell the man that you will send him your account number. And then hear what he will say. Because now you are not expecting him to pay again. You are demanding softly. He said, okay. So he sent it. I said, then tell me that you have sent it to him. He said, okay. So he sent it. So when he sent it, he now called me, but I said the man told him to give him some time. I said, I will send you a message and tell you that your deadline for paying the money that you owe me is so and so. Then you forward it to him. He said, but bros, I'm not owing you money. I said, just don't worry yourself. So I sent him a message and said, oh boy, this money that you are owing me, pay. If not, anytime I see you at an event, I will seize you. You won't walk. He forwarded it to the man. The man said, okay, I will send you 100 first. And then I will break the other one. So he now sent me a message. And I told him, I said, this 100 you want to send to me, by this weekend, I must see the other balance. The man paid the money. He now called me and said, Ebon, I didn't tell you how long that man was owing me. I said, how long? He said, since last year. I said, so how? He said, when I send, when I send the message, he said, Ore Nisuru, when I get, I will give you. Ore Nisuru, when I get, I will give you. As somebody who had been in this business, this is 2024. By 2027, I would have done 40 years.